video, we're going to do a quick example of how to go about finding critical numbers. This would typically be found in a Calc 1 class. All right, so the question says find all critical numbers of the function g of x is equal to x squared e to the x. All right, so the first thing you're going to have to do is calculate a derivative here, and hopefully you recognize that you definitely have a product going right there. So when I go to do the derivative here, I definitely have to use product rule to do this. All right, so I'm going to have g prime of x. All right, product rule, we're going to take the first function, which is going to be an x squared. I'm going to go ahead and use d dx notation here. We'll go through and calculate the derivatives on the next step. So times the derivative d dx of the second term, e to the x, plus the second term, e to the x, times the derivative d dx of that first term, which is x squared. All right, a lot of people can leave that step out, but if you are a beginning Calc 1 student, all right, that might be a good idea to make sure that you ensure to use that product rule correctly. So I'm going to have an x squared here. Derivative of e to the x is e to the x. All right, plus that e to the x. Derivative there is going to be a 2x. All right, now from here you can choose to clean it up, or you can just go ahead and factor at this point. All right, we are going to want to factor this because we have to set this derivative equal to 0 and solve. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to factor out the greatest common factor. I have an x common to both terms, and I have an e to the x in both terms. So I'm going to factor out an x e to the x. In the first term there, that's going to leave me with an x, and in the second term, that will leave me with a 2. All right, our rule for finding critical values or critical numbers is then to take that derivative, so x e to the x times x plus 2, and set it equal to 0 and solve. Since it's now already in factored form, then basically I can use the zero product principle here and set each one of these equal to 0. So I'm going to set the x equal to 0, and that'll give me x equals 0. I can set the e to the x equal to 0. All right, and then we need to stop and think about that. E to the x, all right, is never 0. E raised to any power is never going to give you 0. You can look at the graph to verify that. All right, but this is never true, so we're going to throw that out. That is not going to give me a critical number. And then I can take this last one, and x is equal to -2. So from this, then, I can see that I have 2 critical numbers. All right, so my critical numbers are x equals 0 and x equals -2. All right, so a pretty straightforward Calc 1 example here. All right, but a couple things that you've got to remember is that e to the x set equal to 0 will never give you anything because I can't solve that. All right, and then just being sure to implement that derivative correctly and then factoring it to make it easier to set it equal to 0 and solve. Definitely thanks for watching. If the videos are helping, please share with your friends so they can benefit too. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Thanks.